Hello and welcome to Father of History, the channel where we explore the fascinating stories of the past. Today we are going to talk about Baldwin IV of Jerusalem, the Leper King, who ruled the Latin Kingdom in the Holy Land in the 12th century. He was a remarkable ruler who faced many challenges, both from his enemies and from his own disease, but managed to defend his realm against the powerful Muslim leader Saladin. Baldwin IV was born in 1161, the son of Ḥammurabī, the Count of Jaffa and Ascalon, and Agnes of Courtenay. He was the nephew of Baldwin III, who died childless in 1163. His father succeeded him as King Ḥammurabī I, and Baldwin became the heir to the throne. He was educated by William, the Archdeacon of Tyre, who later wrote a history of his reign. Baldwin showed signs of intelligence and courage from an early age, but he also developed the first symptoms of leprosy, a chronic and incurable disease that causes skin lesions, nerve damage, and deformity. Leprosy was considered a curse from God and a source of shame and stigma in medieval society. Baldwin's condition was kept secret for a long time, but it was eventually diagnosed by a physician from Jerusalem after his accession in 1174. Baldwin was only 13 years old when he became king, following the death of his father. He was crowned 4 days later in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Because he was too young to rule, he was assisted by his kinsman Raymond III, the Count of Tripoli, who acted as his regent until 1176. Raymond was a powerful and influential nobleman who had his own ambitions and interests in the kingdom. He often clashed with other lords, especially Reinald of Chatillon, a former crusader who had married the widow of King Baldwin III and controlled several fortresses along the border with Egypt. Raymond favored a peaceful policy with the Muslim states, while Reinald advocated for aggressive raids and attacks. Baldwin had to balance between these factions and maintain the unity of his kingdom. One of Baldwin's main challenges was to deal with the threat posed by Saladin, the Sultan of Egypt and Syria, who had united most of the Muslim world under his rule. Saladin had sworn to liberate Jerusalem from the Crusaders and had launched several campaigns against them. In 1177, he marched from Egypt with a large army to attack Ascalon, one of Baldwin's most important cities on the coast. Baldwin gathered his forces and rushed to its aid. He managed to surprise Saladin near Montgessard and inflicted a crushing defeat on him. Baldwin fought bravely in the battle, despite his leprosy affecting his hands and face. He was hailed as a hero by his people and earned respect from his enemies. Baldwin's health deteriorated over time, requiring him to appoint other regents periodically. He also faced problems with succession, as he had no children and no brothers. He hoped to pass the crown to his sister Sibylla, but she had married twice without his consent, and both her husbands were unpopular among the nobility. Her first husband was William of Montferrat, who died soon after their marriage in 1177. Her second husband was Guy of Lusignan, a French knight who had arrived in Jerusalem in 1180. Guy was seen as weak and incompetent by many lords, especially Raymond of Tripoli, who opposed his claim to the throne. In 1183, Saladin captured Aleppo, thus completing his control over Syria and threatening Jerusalem from all sides. Baldwin decided to crown his nephew Baldwin V, Sibylla's son from her first marriage, as co-king in November 1183. He named Raymond of Tripoli and Jocelyn III of Courtenay as his guardians until he reached adulthood. He also tried to annul Sibylla's marriage to Guy and confiscate his fief of Ascalon, but he failed to do so due to Guy's supporters. Baldwin hoped that this arrangement would secure the succession and prevent civil war after his death. Baldwin's last years were marked by pain and suffering. His leprosy rendered him blind and unable to walk or use his hands by 1184. He had to be carried on a litter or a horseback during his campaigns. He still showed remarkable courage and determination in defending his kingdom against Saladin's attacks. In 1183, he lifted the siege of Carrick, where Reinald of Chatillon's wife was trapped. In 1184, he negotiated a truce with Saladin for 4 years. He died in early 1185 at the age of 24. He was buried in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre next to his ancestors. Baldwin IV of Jerusalem was one of the most remarkable kings of the Crusader states. He was admired by his contemporaries and later historians for his willpower, and dedication to the Latin kingdom in the face of debilitating leprosy. He was a brave warrior, a wise ruler, and a devout Christian. He was the Leper King, but he was also much more. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified of our new videos. See you next time.